Hey guys, it's Ninja Bear from Paintball. Hey, had an idea today. I kind of put together this, hopefully it focuses here. It's a drill press mill, so not exactly the most precise thing ever, but good for small milling projects. I've done a couple of test runs on an old VL charger. It does pretty good work. So it's not great, it's not perfect, but I'm ready to do my first actual useful project. So a lot of you guys might recognize this as a Eblade frame, but it's for an E1. The problem with the E1 frame, in my opinion, is that the window is offset to the side and it has a red lens over the top. So I pop the red lens out, and when you put an E2 board in, which is the more common of the boards, or the more sought after, so to speak, the board screen is offset. So I'm going to try to mill out this little lip right here to make a bigger window for the new E2 screen. So I'm just going to give it a shot. I'm going to try to get some footage of it actually happening, and I don't have a tripod. I'm using my phone today. For whatever reason, my other camera's not recording properly, so I got to look into it. But anyway, we're going to get this going here. I got to get the better camera working. Just wanted to show you the final result. It's not perfect. Let's see if I can do this. It's not 100% perfect. There we go. But it's not bad either. I'm pretty happy. I'm probably gonna put that red screen back on, or the red lens back on, just to help kind of mask some of the imperfections. Again, it's not a real mill, so it's not extremely precise. I was trying to hold a camera and do it at the same time. I also realized, for one, I'm not an expert at this at all, so I've never done it before. The way I had it clamped, where the bottom of the trigger frame was in there, in the clamp, gave the top a little room to flex, and so the top was vibrating, and it needed to be more stable. So I needed to mount it a little bit better and more stable. So next time, lesson learned. So I'm gonna throw the lens back on here real quick and see how it looks. All right, so I've got a red lens here, and then I've got an old Planet Eclipse lens. Obviously it's all Planet Eclipse, but the E2, so I have an E1 and an E2 lens, but you'll notice they are slightly different sized. So the E2, okay, so I have one of each lens, an E1 and an E2 lens. Now notice the E2 is just slightly bigger. It's hard to show here, but it's slightly bigger by maybe 1 millimeter or so. So it doesn't fit because I didn't mill the outside border of this. So that may be the next thing to do for me. It also means that I can clean up some of the imperfection that I have in this, and I can mount it a little better. But let's see if I can demonstrate here. I forgot to put the button in there just to. For the demo. I'm going to obviously take this all apart and redo it, but really, all in all, it does look much better. So it'll just require a little milling on this side here, so that I can fit the lens inside the groove there, and we're set. So these old E1 frames are just, that's the only downfall that I feel they have, is that you can't really see the screen, and the whole fun of having one of these is knowing exactly that you're shooting Millennium, that you're well, for me it's well, let's see, it's knowing that I can cap it for tournament play or whatever. So this board's programmed to stop at 10 balls a second. So anyway, I'll put some more work into it and we'll see how it goes. All right, so I'm back at the mill. I did mount this a completely different way, obviously. Like I was saying before, when I only had the top, see if I can mount it that way real quick. When I only had this part of the frame mounted, the top parts could still flex and it added a little vibration. So I figured out if I mount it like this, there'd be no vibration at all. I can probably alleviate a lot of the vibration and chatter, which should clean up, everything up. So I gotta lift the press up, and then I gotta shorten the end mill bit that I have on there so that everything's a little tighter, and then we'll get going. The milling's all done. It's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. The adjustments I made to the mill made for a much cleaner cut. My edges are much cleaner than they were. The only problem I had was my milling depth. So I measured it to that, but I guess I guess it maybe was tilted just a little bit. So the depth on this side that I milled is deeper than the depth on this side, which means it doesn't quite sit perfectly, but really it looks, I mean, it worked out perfect. So I can set the lens in there. I could probably put it in the right way. There we go. I'll probably clean up some of those black spots that kind of scuffed off a little bit, but let me put a board in there real quick and we'll see how it looks. All right, I'm smart enough to put a button in here so that we could turn it on. And there it is. I said I'll probably clean up some of these imperfections on the printing. The little black, you see the little black specks, just so it looks nicer. I might get a Sharpie or whatever will work on this thing. But all in all, I'm very happy that that turned out perfect. And now I have an E1 frame with an E2 window, and it's clear and you can see the whole screen. Yeah, this turned out really well for my first attempt at like an actual real milling project. So guys, it's not hard if you want to do your own modifications, anything like that. Drill press and a mill vise isn't the best way to go for anything super precise, but if you want to do something easy that you can eyeball and it worked out great. This project worked out great. Hopefully I can find other good uses for such a inadequate vise or an inadequate mill, so to speak. I'm going to try to look up different ways of doing some things. I'm definitely, these buttons here are extremely hard to come by, so I was thinking about maybe putting a piece of aluminum in the drill and then spinning it like a lathe and then getting a lathe tool and maybe making my own buttons that way. I've never done that before, but in my head it seems like it would work. So that's another thing that I want to try, and maybe I can do it out of different materials like brass and copper, and maybe try some different parts or whatever. Anyway, so thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm going to try to keep making videos. It wasn't really my intention to do like a channel, but sorry, my alarm on my phone's going off here. It wasn't really my intention to make like a whole-on channel, but a couple people subscribed on my last video, and I thought, well shoot, I might as well attempt to make a couple other things. I'm in no means a paintball expert. I'm no means a mechanical expert. I'm no means milling. I'm an expert in nothing that comes to paintball. So all I'm trying to do in these videos is maybe help somebody else figure it out just like I've figured it out. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you soon.